How's it going, people? Wanted to jump on the stream just to talk maybe 20, 30 minutes on this. I know I said no Spurs content, etc. But I mean, I think this is the news that some of us have been waiting for and some of us hadn't been waiting for. Nuno Espirito Santo confirmed as the Spurs boss. 2-year contract. So he's here with us until 2023. For like the millionth time this summer, this club have gone for a manager, and they've actually got it over the line. It's crazy that you have to. In fact, I'm not even going to commend them. Like, it's it's ridiculous that I'm potentially thinking of praising this club for getting what is their 9th or 10th choice manager over the line. A guy who left by mutual consent from Wolves, or left Wolves by mutual consent. Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Let me just share with you Daniel Levy's comments on this, because as I said, it's weird. So let's take a look at this. So, and by all means, I do not dislike Nuno. I think he's a decent manager. I really do. So let's read Chairman Daniel Levy's comments. First of all, I'd like to welcome Nuno to the club. We should like to thank our supporters for all their patience throughout this process. I've already spoken about the need to revert back to our core DNA of playing attacking, entertaining football. And Fabio and I believe Nuno is the man who can take our talented group of players, embrace our young players coming through, and build something special. Commenting on the appointment, Managing Director of Football, Fabio Paratici, said, the brief for the appointment has always been clear. We wanted a head coach that can instill all the values that are important to this football club. You only have to look at Nuno's time at Wolves to see his ability to take a group of players and implement an adaptive style that brings success and allows players to develop and thrive. We are looking forward to getting started in what we hope will be a successful time with the club. Nuno himself commented, when you have a squad with quality and talent, we want to make the fans proud and enjoy it. It's an enormous pleasure and honor to be here. There's joy, and I'm happy and looking forward to starting work. We don't have any days to lose, and we must start working immediately as pre-season starts in a few days. Where do I start? Where do I start, people? Okay, let me reiterate before I start. I do not dislike Nuno Espirito Santo. I think he's a decent coach, and I really, really respect, and I gave a lot of credit to what he did at Wolves. Yeah, last season aside, because I know it was a dodgy season, but even then, I think you still have to look at what he was doing the 2 seasons prior, where he got them to the table. But I just want to zero in on a couple things. Yeah. And it's going to be good. It's going to be both good and bad. Shout out Henry as well, dropping in the super chat. Big up Henry, making big strides on his channel. Make sure you're subscribed to him if you're not subscribed already. This guy's basically like my little brother from Essex. I was always wearing Canada Goose and flipping. What was it he was wearing that day? Valentino. I can't even remember. But yeah, big up Henry. Lovely guy. Look out for his stream as well, because no doubt he will be talking about this at some point tomorrow. But yeah, let's get back on topic. Yeah, I see comments in here. J Spurs says we need to give him a chance, to be honest, etc. But let's look at both sides of the coin. Yeah. Nuno Espirito Santo, nobody wanted him. I spoke to so many Spurs fans about the manager they wanted, etc., etc. I didn't hear Nuno's name once. In fact, the only people who suggested Nuno for the job were non-Spurs fans, looking at it from the outside in and thinking, you need a manager. He's done relatively well in the league for 2 out of 3 seasons. Go get him. Yeah. But you got to look at the bigger picture. Let's look at the bigger picture. This is why I'm a bit worried about the direction in this club's heading. It's weird. You could pay me £1 million and I couldn't tell you where this club are trying to go. I couldn't tell you what this club are trying to be. You look at the comments from our own chairman talking about this stupid DNA bollocks again, our core DNA of playing, attacking, entertaining football. Did you watch Nuno Espirito Santo in the league for 2-3 years? Wolves counter-attacking football at times was really good. We saw that firsthand. They beat us at Wembley. Well, they beat us well. They were the better side that day. Beat us 3-1. And then they beat us the year later 3-2. We've seen what Wolves can do at their very counter-attacking best. But this is not a fluid side. This is not a side who play, in Daniel Levy's words, attacking football. That's not Wolves. And for you to say that tells me that you don't really know what you're talking about. You are not doing your research. But as I said, I'm looking at it from both sides. And from what I've read leading up to this deal, Nuno was Paratici's man. And I'm hearing that apparently he wanted him at Juventus. I don't even know what on earth he had done in his career to even sniff that job. But hey ho, apparently he wanted him at Juventus. Apparently. So it looks like it's Paratici's man and Daniel Levy's back Paratici's decision. So whereas we have an aimless club with a weird direction, it seems as if the director of football is actually getting his say on what he would like the club to do in terms of managers to bring in, players to bring in, just general decisions. So that is actually a positive. That's a positive. Let's be real. We wanted Daniel Levy to take a step back from footballing matters and appoint someone who can actually make some of these decisions. And he's appointed someone for better or for worse. And it's looking like for worse right now. But he's done it and he's making decisions. He's making decisions and Daniel Levy's backing him. I found it interesting what he said. He said, and Fabio and I believe Nuno is the man. So I think he's trying to stress that this was a joint decision driven by Fabio Paratici. Yeah. But then I go on Paratici's comments and he says, we wanted a head coach that can instill all the values that are important to the club. Yeah. You only have to look at Nuno's time at Wolves to see his ability to take a group of players and implement an adaptive style. Again, Paratici, I had high hopes for this guy, but adaptive style? What? Okay, cool. Nuno switched from 3 at the back to trying to play a 4-2-3-1 this season, trying to play a more progressive game. But in the absence of Raul Jimenez, still trying to play as if he had a target man. Yeah? I hate to mention his name again, but Pochettino, the guy that they should have never sacked in the first place, when Harry Kane was injured, yeah, he would implement a style and get these players playing in such a way that people would even start questioning Harry Kane's importance to this club because we were doing relatively okay without Harry Kane. Whereas Nuno, I saw him face adversity and it took its toll on him. And I'm not trying to use that to nail Nuno down, but I'm just giving an example of why I don't really get some of the comments that Paratici and Levy are saying, because to me, I look at Nuno Espirito Santo and I don't see a manager who's adaptive. I don't see a manager who plays attacking football. I see a manager who likes who doesn't have an opinion. Well, I say doesn't have an opinion. I see a manager who doesn't really have any confrontational. He doesn't really have a confrontational side. I've not really heard or read about Nuno falling out with this player and that player. I've not really heard things getting toxic in the Wolves camp. I've not heard any of that. So that's another positive, I guess. But bringing young players through, yeah. Nuno, we saw it with Morgan Gibbs-White in his first season. We saw it with Fabio Silva last season, getting a couple games. Didn't really see much of Hoover that they signed for 10 million off the back of that Jota deal. But I saw Kilman in their team. So he does bring in some young players into that team. I see some other players coming through as well. So I guess Nuno will work with our younger players. Nuno will work with the likes of Skip. He will work with the likes of Tanganga, etc., etc. So there are positives to this deal. Yeah. Let me just go on this super chat quickly. Attacking football, LOL. Levy on crack. JS7 here. Yeah, Jadon Sancho has signed for, or seemingly about to sign for Man United. So yeah. And whilst Man United are signing one of the best wingers in the world, and we're signing Nuno Espirito Santo as our manager, it speaks volumes. No insults, just facts. Just facts. But anyway, let's get back on topic. So positives, we've spoken about Nuno being able to work better with our younger players, yeah, and him being a decision made by Paratici and backed by Daniel Levy. So that's two positives. But then we've spoken about the negative, his style of play. Too rigid, too one-dimensional. Yeah. And this is where I don't get this aimless nature of this club. Yeah. Okay, whilst he doesn't have Jose Mourinho's divisive nature behind the scenes, bust up with players and stuff, ostracizing players and not letting them get game time for weeks on end. What does he bring stylistically that is different to Jose Mourinho? Daniel Levy said only a couple of weeks ago that we lost our way, we lost our core values, and wanted to get back to where we believe we should be, get back to the football we like to play. Nuno Espirito Santo is a student in the school of Jose Mourinho. He's a student in the school of Jose Mourinho. He loves organization, I have no qualms with that. He loves organization. And he's the type of guy, in my opinion, that will not put his foot on the gas when it's required. He's the type of guy that will coach our team to not attack when the game is there to be had. Because we've seen it for Wolves. Let's be real. We've seen it for Wolves. I'm just going to go for some comments. The manager should not be a priority, in my opinion. He could be a stopgap while the squad is changed. The real concern is signings and sales. Good point, Newman. I'll get onto that in a second. I'll get onto the signings and stuff in a second. Sorry for all the comments I've missed. Good luck to you guys and Nuno. We meet you first home game of the season 2. Bruv, not looking forward to that. Not looking forward to that. Oh, I think maybe he means Wolves. I'm not too sure. I thought I was referring to Man City. So Koi's 1708 says, don't worry, the Dele remontada is here. Anderson says, adaptive to your squad. Good point. But yeah, let's talk about it. So Jose Mourinho, what were his detractors? Divisive in the dressing room, which is not what Nuno is, fair enough, but played one way, or preferred to play one way, which is never the protagonist, parking the bus when he wanted to park the bus, and limiting our attacking play. Outside the counter attack, we had nothing. So that's one. 2, not being able to adapt to changing situations. What I mean by that is suffering injuries, etc., and you not finding a solution. Yeah. You have your plan A. Your plan A goes to pot. What can you do to adapt? That was my biggest gripe with Jose Mourinho. Poor at adaptation. His substitutions were shocking. Absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. Very rarely could we change games because of the subs that this guy would make. Very rarely. Remains to be seen with Nuno. I don't really know much on his substitution game, but it's just an underwhelming appointment. Let's be real. It's an underwhelming appointment. It is. We can sugarcoat it. We can get behind the manager and stuff like that because ultimately he's the Spurs boss now. I want to see Nuno doing well. Nuno doing well means the club are doing well. I want to see Nuno doing well. But I genuinely have no high expectations for this appointment. I don't. I really don't. I don't expect Spurs to get Champions League football. I don't expect Spurs to do anything that is truly commendable this upcoming season. I don't expect it. And it's harsh to say, yeah, give Nuno a chance, but it's just what it is, man. It is. It's just what it is. Because I'm not really seeing a manager who's better than our previous manager. And I don't just mean CV, because CV-wise, we'll struggle to find any manager who's got a better CV than our previous manager. But I'm talking about how you implement your philosophy on the pitch. I don't think he's a better manager than Jose Mourinho. I genuinely don't. I don't think he's a better manager than Jose Mourinho. And you all knew my thoughts on Jose. I don't think he is. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? We got a manager who's from the school of Jose. I don't get it. And yet you tell me that you want to get back to your DNA and all this stuff. Miss me with that, man. This club, they don't know what they're doing. And it's no slight on Nuno, as I said. Decent manager. In fact, for what he did at Wolves, he's earned the right to be called a good manager for what he did at Wolves. Yeah, people can talk about the third season, but they had 2 excellent seasons under this guy, and they got to a Europa League quarterfinal. But as I said on my previous stream, that very same Europa League quarterfinal that they got to sticks in my memory. They're playing Sevilla. Yeah, they have a plethora of talent available. They have an attack. They have wing backs. They have midfielders who can pass through the lines. Yeah, they have strikers who can score. They have wingers who are dangerous. And this guy parks the bus for like 70 minutes in the game. Just sat, waiting for the counter. I'm like, come on, go for the game, bro. Go for the game. What are you playing at? It's a quarterfinal. Let me go through some more chat. Sorry. Mr. Pads or says, salute my brother. Hope you and your fam are well. Thank you, man. I hope your fam are good too. Let me know where you're watching from, because I don't really know that currency. Sorry. Yeah, it's just so shout out Wes. At Valencia, it was more attacking. Probably. I didn't really watch much of him at Valencia. Yeah, I didn't watch much of him at Valencia. I won't lie to you, but I'm only going off what I've seen in the Premier League. I'm going off what I've seen recently. Yeah, and from what I've seen recently, I'm not excited, and I can't really put any high expectations on disappointment. I can't. I think it's the 2-year deal though. We're not tied to him forever. I think it's the club's insurance policy, because in the event that it goes bad and they can just cut him loose. Yeah. And of course, I don't want it to go bad. But we are where we are. I would have preferred a better manager. It's not even a better manager. I would have preferred a different manager that can coach us a different way to Nuno. But that's just me. I've been talking for like almost 20 minutes now. Yeah. Would you have been excited by Potter? I wouldn't have been excited by Potter. I didn't want Potter as well, but I can tell you this for free. I would take Potter over Nuno Espirito Santo for the way Potter plays, where his teams retain organization at the back and can still implement a style going forward. I'm taking Potter over Nuno. And that's not to say that Potter's a better manager than Nuno, because I don't think Potter's achievements in the Premier League equate to Nuno's achievements. But I just know who can coach us better. But anyway, that's me talking about Nuno. Honestly, I hope he does his thing, but washing my hands of this season, I have no expectations. Don't talk to me about saying, Tobs, you said Spurs are going to get top 4. Tobs, you said Spurs are going to do this. I'm not saying that a damn thing because I don't have any expectations. So let's see. I hope Nuno plays attacking football. I really do. I really do. And I know attacking football is not the be-all and end-all, but I want to see good stuff. I like a manager who can mix it up. Yeah. I like a manager who can mix it up, of course. But I ultimately, as a fan, as a match-going fan, I want to see my team play good football and beat teams well. I want to see that. And only nowadays we get scolded for wanting that. Oh, you care about pretty football, not results. Why can't we get a manager that can do both? Why can't we get a manager that can do both? Shaker Ronaldo says, will you be on the Big Six tonight or are you hiding? Why would I hide? When have I ever hid from the Big Six? Never, ever. That's Grizz. That's Grizz, not me. I'm always there on the Big Six. And if I'm not there, it's for a good reason. But anyway, yeah. Samuel Pinsey says, Graham Potter is a proper young manager. I would rather have him than Nuno, in my opinion. Okay, let's see. Okay, cool. So we've spoken about the man himself. Yeah. Big up anyway, Nuno. I hope you do well. But let's talk about the squad. Let's talk about the squad. I'm seeing articles already saying one of Nuno's objectives is to revitalize Dele, keep hold of Harry Kane, stuff like that. Why are we talking about revitalizing Dele? It's the same thing we said even when Jose was in the job in the latter stages of his tenure. It's the same thing we said all summer. Yeah, the squad is on its knees. It's not good enough. Doesn't matter whether it's Nuno, doesn't matter whether it's Ten Hag, etc., etc. The better the manager equates to a marginal uplift, because there's always going to be a cap now with this current group of players. Yeah, it's always going to be capped. Even if Nuno exceeds our expectations, he needs a squad capable of actually playing to the way he wants to play and actually playing well. Too many duds in this team, way too many duds. And what worries me is they're going to use Nuno as an appointment because Nuno doesn't move the needle. They're going to try and use him. They're going to try and use him to keep all these dead players that we have, to keep all these expired players that we have, to keep all these players that quite evidently need a new start, a new club, a new environment. But yet we want to keep them at this club and give them 1,000,000,001 chances. Only this club. Yeah. And yeah, I'm seeing all the reports. I'm seeing, Spurs are apparently making inquiries for Koundé and Skriniar, all this bullshit that I can never believe until I literally see it with my own 2 eyes, because it's too good to be true with this board. It's too good to be true. Let me go through some comments. Mustafa Mohammed, big up Mustafa. In my opinion, Wolves got a better defense than Spurs. Do you agree, Tobs? No, I don't agree. Not anymore. Let me look, because let's see. Right back, Semedo is dead. He's the only thing he's got over Matt Doherty is athleticism. Yeah, I think that's one of the worst swap deals I've seen I say swap deals. I think that's one of the worst domino effect transfers I've seen in the last couple of years. We signed Doherty, who's been terrible for us. They spend 39 million on Semedo, who's been terrible for Wolves. He's been dead. He's been dead. And then Conor Cody. Yeah, Conor Cody is better than Davison Sanchez and Dyer, but I don't think he's better than Alderweireld. I don't think he is. I don't think he's better than Alderweireld. Willy Bolly, yeah, I think he's better than Sanchez and Dyer. In fact, you know what? The defense actually, it might be better than ours. It might be. It might be, but yeah, I'm taking Reguilon over any of their left back options. But Yeah. Yeah. I think that sort of answers your question. Let's see. At least Nuno can get the best out of Doherty, be gassed, or Doherty, or whatever. I'm sorry. If we're buying a manager to unlock Doherty, if we're getting a manager for the sole purpose of unlocking a player that really and truly we should be selling after it's not worked out, then this club's in serious problems. But we already knew that. But let's get back onto the squad. Yeah. I don't even mind Spurs playing free at the back, etc. But just refresh this team. Is Sissoko still going to be part of the plans? Is Ali still going to be part of the plans? Dilly? Winks? Dyer? Sanchez? Lamela? Lucas Moura? Yeah, I said Lucas Moura. Are they part of the plans? Because the majority, with the exception of maybe Lucas Moura, need to be shipped. In fact, they all need to be shipped with the exception of Lucas Moura. And even then, Lucas Moura, get rid of him as well. Yeah. Decent season at best. Get rid of him. Refresh this team. Revamp this damn team. Sick to death of us spending all this energy and time on who's managing the club. Fix the damn squad. Yeah. The squad is busted. It's absolutely busted. We already need a backup striker for Harry Kane. And if Man City cough up the dough and Harry Kane does leave, that leaves us with us needing two strikers, or even maybe one striker and a wide playmaker, or even two strikers and a wide playmaker. We got so many problems. Nuno's got such a huge job on his hands, and you have to hope and pray that this club do what they haven't done the last 3-4 years, which is run this club well. You have to hope that Paratici gives us some sort of direction in terms of the players that we sign and actually brings in genuinely good players into the club. It is more of a priority to move on the players that we have in this squad than to bring them. It's just as important, to move the players on in our squad than to bring them in. It really is. It is. Yeah. If we can get rid of seven, 8, maybe 8 players. I know it's a tall order, but if we can get rid of 7, maybe 8 players and bring in genuine 3, 4, maybe even 5 good ones, because we need more than 5 signings. I can tell you that for free. If I went through the squad man for man, we need 2 centre backs, we need a right back, we need a CM, we need a more goal orientated midfielder in the final third, a creative midfielder who's a bit adaptable, a specialist. We need a right winger. And we need a backup striker if Harry Kane leaves. Damn, we need 2 strikers if Harry Kane leaves. How many positions is that? What's that? 7, 8? Yeah. So we need a lot of players to make our team whole. But for the sole purposes of us even making some tangible progress this upcoming season, if you were able to get rid of the bulk of the deadwood and bring in 3, 4, maybe even 5 good players, good additions that can make an instant impact into our starting lineup or improve our options off the bench, yeah, I'll be happy. I look at our starting lineup now. We need centre back, right winger, and a creative midfielder or a CM. Yeah, we need about 3, 4 players to go into our starting 11, probably even 5, because we need 2 centre backs. Alderweireld really and truly should be a rotational option. He shouldn't be a starter anymore. He shouldn't be, but yet he is. These are the priorities. These are the issues that we need to address. This is what this club needs to help Nuno fix. This is what Daniel Levy and Paratici need to help Nuno fix. Are they going to do it? I don't know. I doubt it. What indication have they given us the past 3-4 years that they're capable of doing this? Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. Someone's telling me check Fabrizio's latest tweet. Let's see what he says. Fabrizio Mano. Let's see what he said. Oh, Jadon Sancho. Yeah, I've seen that. What's his latest tweet? Why are people telling me this? Tweet Fabrizio. Yeah, Jadon Sancho. Oh, no, wait. Tottenham director now at work for Nuno. Levy still intention to keep Harry Kane. Son expected to extend his contract soon. Talks ongoing with Bologna for Tomiyasu, offering 18 million euros. Spurs have Jules Koundé and Joachim Anderson on their list. I'm not going to lie to you. For the money Koundé is going to cost, I'd want a different centre-back. I won't lie to you. But it's good to hear that the club are actively looking at 1 and 2, even 3 centre-backs. But until they come in through the door, it's all smoke and mirrors. It is. Anyone who watches Serie A extensively, please message me. I watch it sparingly, and I definitely am not watching Bologna unless they're playing one of the bigger sides. So yeah, anyone who knows anything on Tomiyasu, please message me, DM me. I'd love to speak to you on my channel. Of course, I'm going to do my own research, but yeah. To summarize, underwhelming appointment, but an appointment I didn't want, an appointment I'm not happy with, and an appointment that I have no expectations of in terms of success. But all power to Nuno. I hope he does well. For him, managing a club in London with our infrastructure, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. It's a job that he couldn't refuse. So it's not his fault that he's been offered the job. So yeah, let's see. I'm gonna end it there, folks. Let's wait and see what this hierarchy at our club can actually do in terms of revamping the squad with Nuno. Let's see. Until then, no, folks. I'm signing out. Make sure you're on the Big Six later on. I'll be talking some more about this. I'll be talking about Jadon Sancho as well. That's a superb, absolutely superb signing for Man United. Absolutely superb signing for Man United. But yeah, I'll be talking about how Spurs' 10th choice manager has been appointed. So yeah. Thanks for tuning in, people. Let me just, before I sign out, KG, shout out KG. Make sure you lot subscribe to this guy's channel. Quality leads content, just quality football content. I like-minded people who can actually just have a calm, rational conversation about football and actually know what they're talking about. Let's see what he says. Tomiyasu requested a transfer away from Leeds when I signed him because of language issues. Ah, Lord. Okay, well, just say football manager for one. And I need to do my scouting report because I actually haven't played Football Manager since the last lockdown. So my database of the young upcoming talent is a bit fugazi at the moment. So let's try and get that cooking. I'll do some research on him over the next couple of days. But yeah, people, take care. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy Love Island if you're gonna go off and watch Love Island. And yeah, make sure you're on the Big Six at 10 o'clock. Take care. Peace out.